everybody, I'm Ashley and this is Troy. We're Trent's mom and dad. Since Trent and Duke are at State Fair showing their animals, I'm taking footage of the guys shopping here for third crop.
So Duke and I just got back from State Fair, so they've been working on chopping our third crop here over the last couple of days. So they got, this is gonna be the last load from down there, and then they got one more field that's probably gonna be at least one or two loads. So what we ended up doing is, because I wasn't here, they uncovered part of the stuff we had for second crop, and then we just ended up kept filling the bunker as we went. So bunker is gonna be pretty full. I don't know if we're gonna worry about uncovering this bit here for putting more in here, or if we'll put something in here. I'm not really sure what the plan will be yet. So for those who don't know what this tractor is doing here, I'll explain what's going on. So obviously you have the blade on the front here, which pushes the feed and gets it where you want it. But then also what the tractor does here is, you can see it has the block on the back, and it's a pretty heavy tractor as it is. So what you want to do, once you have the feed pushed, you have to pack it down, so that way you can pack all the air out of it, because to ferment feed and make it so it turns into good feed, you have to have all the air pushed out of it. And if you don't do that, then it's going to get spoiled and it'll just get rotten. So that's the main job of this tractor, is just to do those two things and then drive back and forth. So we were able to finish third crop here, but we did have one big casualty. So when we had this problem here, I'll explain what actually happened in a bit. But what was going on with the truck was being unloaded, and it started running really rough. And we weren't really sure what was going on with it right away, so we let it idle to finish it loading the truck, and then we pulled it out of the bunker and it just died. And we weren't exactly sure what happened yet, so we weren't sure if like the injectors were bad or if we had bigger problems. So after we were done covering the bunker and stuff, my dad and I pulled this in here. We pulled it with our blade tractor because we didn't really know what was wrong with it yet. After the truck died, you could turn the motor over like by hand to a ways, and then it would hit a rough spot and you wouldn't be able to go anymore. So we weren't sure if like an injector was bad or if we had bigger issues like we ended up finding out here. So yesterday I was hauling on the pit, but Dad and a few other people came and they worked on pulling this apart because we had to take the heads off and all the injectors off. So I'll hop up in there and actually show you what ended up happening here now. I'm not an expert when it comes to explaining how diesel engines work, but I'll give you kind of a simple overview. So basically these pistons, there's pistons in here that move up and down, and there's a head that goes tight to the top of this that puts fuel and air, and then that's basically that makes like not an explosion, but there's like it pushes the pistons up and down, which turns the whole motor over. So what ended up happening with the truck here is the top of the piston over here came apart. When the piston came apart, the pieces that came apart got smashed up into the head. So we actually don't have the head here right now. We already sent that to a guy in town that's gonna go through everything for us, but I took a picture of it before. Part of the part of the top of the piston even got smashed into the valves that like let the fuel and air in there. I'll show you in the picture. So obviously this is all, the piston's all screwed up with the sleeve. So the nice thing about these Mack trucks, the Mack motors, is they have sleeves that go around the cylinder, but this sleeve isn't even screwed up, so we got lucky there. So in total, we're hoping that the head of the motor will be fine, so that we won't have to replace anything there, but the two valves that are in the motor that are on top of this piston got bent, so we'll have to replace those for sure. Then obviously we're gonna have to get this piston out of here, so we're gonna have to drop the oil pan out of that, so we're gonna work on dropping that out of here. Then we'll have to drop the piston out of there and buy a new one of those and two valves. Hopefully that's all we have to really do there. So we got the injectors off right now, so we're gonna send those up to a place. It's a little like half an hour away from here. That's gonna go through those right away. We'll have this all taken apart because we're gonna have to wait for the piston to get here, and then we have to wait for the head to be done and look through. It wasn't the best case scenario, but it wasn't the worst case scenario either, because we could have had like the camshaft or something go out inside the motor itself farther down, and then it would have been just better off for us to fly in a new motor. But this is something that's not extremely expensive, so we can fix it, and this thing should be able to go here in a little bit. But we had to finish shopping with two trucks because we still haven't got the semi fixed, the apron chain fixed on that yet, because we just have not had tons of time over the last couple weeks to really work on that. So we're gonna hopefully get this fixed and out of here in like hopefully a week or two, hopefully. Then maybe we'll be able to get the apron chain fixed on there. The new apron chain came now, so I'll show you guys that quick here while we're looking at stuff. This is what the new apron chain looks like here. It comes in 3 rolls. What we're gonna maybe try to do is take like chunks of the chain, because there's still like about maybe like half of the old chain that's good. So we're gonna maybe see if we can try to make it so we can use like parts of the new chain and then use parts of the old chain still. So we're gonna figure out what we can do there when we get to it. Anyways, what we think caused this is just the truck's almost 40 years old. It's gonna be 40 years old in 2 years. We don't know what work had been done to this motor before we bought it, so we're just thinking that it's just the wear and tear thing and the truck's getting old. So we're just gonna work on it once we get the parts done. Like I said, we're gonna drop the oil pan out so we can get to some of this other stuff, but we're gonna work on that.